agree with the sentiments expressed by the Speaker of the Senate, and he has made a solid statement on holding governors and county governments to account. I also must say the legislature must also be held to account. Because there is something going on in our legislature that we must call out. There is money being demanded from the executive, from governors, from ministers, from people in the executive, especially those who go for accountability before our houses of parliament. Mr. Speaker, it cannot continue to be business as usual. It is not possible that committees of parliament demand to be bribed, demand to be paid for them to write reports or
President William Samoei Ruto has given a serious warning to the MPs and parliamentary committees against the bribery and corruption that is happening. This is because, ladies and gentlemen, it has been going on for a long time, but it has been confirmed today that Parliament is a corrupt zone whereby MPs are demanding payment from different people, from different governors, from different ministers, and every other person who comes there so that the reports are being wrote in a positive way. But my good people, you can see the president is fighting corruption intentionally to clear his name and his governance from the issue of corruption. This is strategically to win the admiration of Kenyan citizens so that what he promised in his manifesto should be delivered successfully and to avoid undermining his projects. And so, my good people, if the president is doing this in good faith to make sure that the corruption is being ended and to make sure all loopholes that bring in issues of corruption are being sealed, then at the same time the president risks the backfiring of this fight against corruption. This is because if the parliamentary committee or parliament in sum up and come to gang against the president, then they might rebel, and this will affect President William Samoei Ruto directly, because if you are not in good terms with the president, things will not work well on your side. And so, my good people, positively, we can see that President William Samoei Ruto is trying to clear his name on issues of corruption. At the same time, if he successfully fights corruption, then in the second term, people will look at what he has done and they will elect him without any struggle. But these committees that are in the parliament, one of them include the Public Account Committee, we have Public Investment Committee, Transport and Public Works, Agriculture Committee, Defense and Foreign Relations, Admin and National Security, Energy and Communication Committee, among others. These are among the committees that are under scrutiny for issues to do with corruption, because it have been rampant and the president has decided to warn these MPs. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if things to do with avoiding or fighting corruption 100% in Kenya, then things might backfire. For instance, money is very sweet, and these MPs, they pretend like they are representing the will of the Kenyans in the parliament, but some of them are there to pursue their personal interests, their personal gains. It's not that it is not known, but it is something that has been taken as a normal thing. It has no issue to do with it, so that people are maintaining the silence, because if today you are in this committee, if you are removed from the committee, it now becomes politics instead of serving where you have been placed. The other day you had MPs who are complaining that I have been removed from a certain committee and I've been chased away from a certain committee. Why are they complaining if they are serving there with good faith? It seems that these MPs are serving there knowing that they are getting something in return, because if someone has been shifted in one parliamentary committee to the next, they are bitterly complaining, feeling like it is something that has been criminalized against them. But they don't want to explain what they are benefiting extra from those parliamentary committees. And so the first risk that the president is risking in totally blocking corruption loopholes is mobilization risk. This is because these MPs have direct impact to the citizens. How? They are responsible of maintaining or mobilizing the grassroots mobilization of the citizens from the place where they are ruling in their specific constituencies. And so MPs have direct access to the people more than other leaders. This means if these MPs feels like the president is directly attacking them and their role instead of helping to fight corruption in good faith, then these MPs might feel like they are targeted personally and they will not be able to get what they want. And so instead, they might revolt against the president, mobilize the people against the president, so that in his next election, he not be re-elected again or lose that opportunity. And that is very dangerous, because our people there in the grassroots or in the ground, they really listen to their MPs. If they go there, change the tune of the song, and they will all follow. And so it means President William Samoei Ruto will be in a problem. My good people, we know that these MPs have vital roles that they play in our nation. One of the roles is that they legislate or they form the law, they amend the bills, and they can also have the power to install government bills. They can also summon the ministers. They have even the ability to do budget allocation. At the same time, they have that power to make sure that the government proposals or the proposals that are being brought in the parliament and even the government projects are running in the speed, or they are being done at an expected time and it is being accomplished. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if the legislature will not be at good terms with this president, then it means President William Ruto will lose. This is because these MPs might decide that all the proposals that William Ruto is bringing in the parliament, they are not being passed. They can decide that the bills that are amended or things that the president is pushing to be amended to be bills, they can decide that they will make sure they are not passing. They are making sure that it will become difficult for President William Samoei Ruto to run the nation through his bills. Another thing, they can decide that the allocation of budget maybe on certain projects that the president has promised the people to accomplish in his first term can be impossible to be finished because of the money that is being allocated there. And finally, they can decide that they delay all the projects in the ground through certain political ways which will be against the president. And so if the legislature decides that they will be against the president because he is attacking them directly on issues of corruption, then it means that the bills, amendment of bills, making of the law, anything to do with the project that the president is pushing, they will all go against it to make sure that it is impossible and it's not working out. And this will directly affect the work of the president. And so it means that fighting this corruption should be taken as a reform or a means of bringing in changes, but not direct attack to the specific MPs and their parliamentary committees. And finally, my good people, we know that these MPs, some of them are there and they are doing their businesses in and out of this nation. Because of this direct attack, it can cause a lot of negative things to the president, because some of them might decide maybe to revolt against the president. They can decide to expose most of his things that maybe are being hidden behind the curtain, that the citizen is not aware of it. And this is dangerous because right now we know Kenya is under political pressure. Soon Rigathi Gachagua is coming back to the nation, and we know he is coming back to start the political crisis again, and the country has been at peace. If this issue of fighting corruption will be attacking parliamentarians one by one instead of bringing in reforms in good faith, then it seems some of these MPs might join the one-term movement to fight Ruto. And this might be very possible, because we have seen some of the Ruto's allies, they have changed their loyalties from supporting the president to paying their loyalties to Rigathi Gachagua. This is not a miracle. There are so many examples of many governments that have failed because they are not working well, or they are not having good relationship with the legislature. And so President William Samoei Ruto should fight his corruption fight very intelligently, because if by chance or by mistake he goes directly attacking these parliamentarians one by one instead of reforming the system of Kenya to avoid corruption, then it will be seen that he is attacking the MPs, and it will not work well with him. And if again he is doing the reforms without targeting specific MPs maybe, or without trolling them, then they can work together, and it means that he will be re-elected again if the people will be happy with the transparency and what he has done in his office. Otherwise, my good people, thank you for watching. Have a good day.